Alright, so finally the long-awaited Master Duel ban list has arrived. I wasn't sure they were going to do a ban list this time around, because normally they do their ban list sort of directly after Duelist Cup, and it's been a little bit since the last one now, so I thought maybe they were going to skip it this time around, which was a little bit weird considering there's one particular deck that's been extremely dominant that probably needs some sort of hit, that of course being Purrely. So I'm expecting a lot of Purrely on this ban list, or at least something to make that deck list feel a little bit, a little bit weaker. It's kind of taking over the game at the moment. Other than that, if they're still basing their results on Duelist Cup, probably something like the Dragon Link or maybe Labrynth. Everything else probably doesn't really need that much of a hit. I think on the ladder currently, Kashtira is incredibly popular, but the deck list was so underperforming in the KC Cup or the Duelist Cup. I'd be surprised if they really look at hitting that deck list. If they hit it and nerf it, it's probably just for ladder popularity. Sometimes they do ban lists for that, so maybe it'll be on here, but I think mostly just Purrely, Dragon Link, and maybe some Labrynths. Everything else is just icing on top for that one, but I'm expecting mostly this ban list is going to be about Purrely, so let's get into it. And let's see what we're getting. Alright, so first up, we have the Zoodiac Drident going from 1 to 3. This is interesting, because I think this card's actually still banned, and yeah, it's both banned in TCG and OCG, and we have 3 of it now. This won't affect too much, because this card does see quite a bit of play, but it only sees play as just like a little engine tech and things, so having this at 3, I don't think it'll change much. It'll change stuff for events, I guess, but events have their own custom ban lists anyway, so sure, nice to see it being moved up, because it's just a tech for other deck lists. There probably won't even be many people playing multiple copies of this anyway, because if you're going to take this into a deck list, you're only going to play the 3 cards anyway, so just a little bit of a boost to rank 4 decks if they want to play it. But I don't think it will affect too much. Lyrilusc, Cobalt, Sparrow. So, yeah, birds, they're not doing a whole lot of insane things currently. Surprisingly, in a lot of the more meme tournaments, I know Decade runs a lot of meme tournaments where they try to cut out some of the meta decks. Lyrilusc does really well in that. So, Lyrilusc, it's a deck list that's scary to give any buffs to, considering the deck is actually quite strong. I think actually if you check the win rates thing too, I don't know where you look that up on this website, but I think Lyrilusc sometimes appears in there too as being one of the higher win rate decks in the game. So, yeah, I think this is it's kind of weird they'd bother to buff this, but it's not a top tier deck list. You don't see it that often in tournament play. It does come up occasionally, but not that often. Let's see, is it it is occasionally like a meme tournament, sometimes in community tournaments, but it's not that popular of a deck list, so I'm not surprised they would consider buffing it, so fine, I guess. Not gonna change a whole lot though. Alright. And that's it of the unlimits, okay. Sure, I guess. Semi-limited, alright, what do you got? Mining, okay. So, Mining is obviously a Mathmech hit mostly. I think a lot of these Salamangreat players actually were already not playing 3 copies of Mining. What else do we got? Ignista were probably playing a lot of copies of this. But the 2 main ones is obviously Mathmech and I guess Ignista. Mostly Mathmech, and Mathmech did play 3 copies of this, so sure. I think of all the cards to hit though, this is probably the most annoying one, because it's like one of these structure deck cards, so it's kind of a bit annoying for free-to-play players, but that shouldn't matter too much. Yeah, it's just a consistency hit, I guess. I was expecting, I mean, they might still put the circular on here, since it's both limited to 1 in TCG and I think in OCG as well. Which I don't actually, I want to look it up because it might be on here, so I'll look it up afterwards where circular hits, but sure, I guess we can check out the deck lists that are being affected by this. It's mostly just Mathmech and oh yeah, I guess Code Talker as well. But these are the 2 sort of meta relevant ones, right? Mathmech and Ignista. Oh, they were already playing this at 3. Most of the time anyway. But those are the 2 main ones. All the other decks lists that play are only sort of, yeah, not that often. Salad, Marine Says is only Marine Says a lot of time isn't running it at all. So, sure, nice little change, I guess. It's mostly only affecting the Mathmech, which is the only real problematic deck for Mining. Alright, Tempest. This is just going up, unlimits. So this is continuing their current trend of slowly unlimiting all the Dragon Rulers. this shouldn't matter too much. I think we've had a lot of full unban list tournaments to see if decks like Dragon Ruler are actually that problematic, and they don't really do much in those events. So Dragon Ruler, whilst it was once a absolutely insane deck list IRL, I don't think it'll ever be that way in Master Duel. The meta's kind of just a bit too strong for it now to be that insane, so they're going to slowly unlimit all these by the looks of things, which is completely fine. Shouldn't change a whole lot. Desires. They're really hitting every single pot card in the game. Holy. Alright, so the good news about this card, though, is it finally settles that annoying debate of whether to play 3 of this or 2 of this. Because a lot of people wanted to play 3 of this, and a lot of people wanted to play 2 of it, because banishing that many cards from the deck list means you don't normally want to be... You're not able to activate 3 of these in a duel anyway. It's just never possible, so... But it does mean less consistent in being able to get a hold of this card, so... Sure, I'm surprised they literally just hit every single pot card possible. That just shows how insane draw cards are in this game. But yeah, Pot of Desires, it's on the ban list now. It's going from 3 to 2. I'm not sure how... This card wasn't that... It was seeing play in a lot of places, but it wasn't that sort of popular. Like, the main deck lists... I don't even know what the main deck lists were for this. I see a bit of play in Sword Soul. Quite a bit of play in Kashtira. Bit of play in Runick. In general, it wasn't that, like, it's not that impactful of a change. I think it'll be completely fine. Like, a lot of these deck lists, you'll notice, are just playing this at 2 anyway, so it's not exactly like anyone's going to care too much about this change, so sure. Just surprised they're bothering to do it. Alright. Moving on. Quick launch. Alright, so this is our first Dragon Link hit. I think I should be more on here. 3-2 for quick launch is great. So this card is, yeah, one of the main sort of key components, so it's nice to see it on here. So it's definitely a consistency here, because this card I don't think is searchable at all, so fantastic, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it's at least I don't think it's searchable. Actually, I'm really completely talking about my ass on that one. I'm not a Dragon Link player, but anyway. Yeah, it's obviously a Dragon Link Time Thief. I don't think it's going to affect the deck that much. There definitely needs to be more hits on here to actually be a drastic change, but... Like, I was expecting more of a Bestial lineup of hits on here, but I guess they want to keep the Bestials to be more being able to be played everywhere, so they kind of don't want to hit Bestials too much, more focus on the Dragon Link core itself, rather than hitting every other deck that wants to play Bestial, so... Sure, I'm not sure this is going to be enough to make Dragon Link significantly weaker, but it's a nice start at least. Alright. Chaos Base. Alright, so yeah, another Dragon Link hit, sure. Again, following that same sort of trend of trying to avoid hard hitting the Bestial stuff and more aiming to hit the actual Dragon Link stuff itself. Not surprised this thing was limited though, considering I think in the TCG it's limited, so sure. And 98% of playing this at 3, and most of the time it was being used to search for your little dragon duo thing, right? Your little white buster or your other one. It's a little bit annoying considering this is a main Chaos deck combo, but obviously it's mostly being played as a Dragon Link card. But it does make Chaos decks a little bit weaker in general, which is a bit sad. Yeah, a lot of Chaos decks are playing a bunch of this. Even decks like a Light Sword or other graveyard decks like to play it, so it's a little bit sad for those decks, but hey, you'll get over it. We'll try to make Dragon Link a little bit less consistent. That is 2 cards cut from the deck list, 2 important cards cut from the deck list. In 98% at 3, so some good hits, I guess. Alright, moving on. Purrely. Okay, so this is the not as important of the 2 Purrely monsters, but limiting the monsters only makes it so that they have, like, less normal summons, I guess. But if you've played Purrely before, you'll know they don't particularly care too much, considering just how searchable all of their cards are. So, this is nice, but it shouldn't really change a whole lot. I don't even know how you would properly limit Purrely as a deck list. I think it sounds like a pain in the ass to ban for, just because of how the deck's designed. So I'm not really sure... Actually, I don't want to click on this in case there's more ban lists on here. More cards on the ban list, but... Yeah, it's a nice start, I guess, but I don't think it'll change a whole lot, because, yeah, the deck is just way too searchable. But it does mean they have 1 less normal summon, potentially, I guess, so more discarding needed, I guess. It shouldn't change a whole lot, though. At least I don't think it will. It means there's less to summon from deck lists, so there's less chance of them making huge Xyz plays and stuff on turn 1, I guess. But it shouldn't change a whole lot. Alright, now here's a change I was expecting. Purrely Delicious Memories. This one I think is both limited and yeah, TCG and OCG. So OCG's put it at 2, TCG's at 1. I wouldn't be surprised if this eventually ends up at 1 as well. This card is one of their main starter cards of the main spells from the deck list, so wasn't surprised this one's going to get hit, especially considering it was on the lower rarity ones. So, yep, makes sense. One of their better starter cards to open. Thank God it's been limited, makes the deck a little bit less consistent. And yeah, the good change. Fantastic change. Probably the most expected change. I think most people were expecting to see this on this ban list. Alright, Labrynth. Okay. Oh, that's it of the semis. So Labrynth is Labrynth Stove. Okay. So this makes it a little bit more annoying for the builds that want to play the furniture. So this don't be searching for their trap cards as often during your turn. So that's pretty good, I guess. Just making it a little bit less consistent without hurting the deck too much, which is fair. Labrynth is definitely a strong deck, but it was also one of the deck lists that, although it did well on KC Cup, it wasn't doing as well as Dragon Link or Purrely, of course. At least I don't think it did as well as Dragon Link. It might have been fairly similar. Either way, good change. Nice to make a... Good to see they're still hitting the power decks without hitting any of the other ones as much, so good to see. Alright, cards to be limited. Alright, what are we getting? Runick Fountain to 1. Holy. That matches the OCG, but that is nasty. Dude, Cosmic Cyclone on a Runick Fountain is so rude now. Holy, that is nasty. Damn. Okay, that is a fairly significant change. It also means looping the... getting hold of multiple fountains, so you can activate one, activate another for multiple ways of drawing, considering it's not a hard once per turn, is quite not as easy now. It's actually quite hard to do, so yeah, that's a very significant change. You can still add it back from the graveyard, of course, but still should be a significant change. Also harder to open it without having to use your discard, because obviously you can search for this thing quite easily, but it does require a discard to do so. So yeah, sure, it's a deck's a lot more Ash Blossomable now, considering you just blossom when they try to search for the card. Yep, good hit, I guess. This is, I think, more aimed towards the fact that it's a very popular deck list, or it's a popular deck list that's been around for quite a while now. So, sure, this is a Josh hit right here, a Joshua Schmidt hit. So, there you go. Good for him. Alright. Ooh, Diameter. Is this that big of a change? Because this is like a card you're just searching for off Circular, right? Or you're getting a hold of just off of your main combo when you're playing the deck list, so... I don't think this changes a whole lot, because yeah, this card's just highly searchable. It means you can't do... Because I think most people are playing this at 2, I think. I don't want to spoil myself on the deck list, but yeah, most playing it at 2, and I think they're only playing it at 2 because it was more of a, it's a searchable card, it's a follow-up card, so it means you can sort of do your combo multiple times. It also means if it was in the deck list, you still wouldn't have to be as annoyed. I don't know, I don't think this changes too much at all. Like, I think this being at 1 and this being at 3 is very, like, yeah, it only takes one copy out of the deck list, so I don't think this will change basically anything. Yeah. Bit of a weird hit, that one. Just sort of makes Mathmech a slightly weaker. Shouldn't hurt the deck too much. I think this deck, until Circular gets hit, probably won't really feel that much weaker. Alright, moving on. Oh, that's it. Full changes. Alright, so... yeah, quite a lot of hits on here. I was hoping there were a bit more unlimits, but apparently they did only a couple of ones this time around. A lot of meta hits, which is good. We were looking for a meta ban list, but I don't think overall the power level is going to change too much. It's good to see Purrely's getting a little bit inconsistent. I think the main big loser of this ban list is definitely Runick. That is such a nasty hit, having only one access to one fountain now, considering how important this card is. But yeah, fairly decent ban list. It's good to see they targeted the decks that really needed to be targeted. I think they actually targeted all the decks I predicted they were going to target, so nice. Yeah, good ban list overall. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. If you enjoyed, remember to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. Laters.